Yeah, and for December, the overview, so we plan to work on code quality and so on. So the different findings that were brought by the spare bit audits. Yeah, it's mostly code quality, some informational, security issues, but not that require immediate actions. So something Stefan will be working on, Bitcoin reliability improvements that will be on neutrally Cosmos SDK between the CFC upgrades. So it's also something that we start to discuss, and Stefan will mainly take the lead on this one. ZetaChain revamp, as usual, improving the ZetaChain code base. Dimitri is working on this, and Tanmay on the simulation testing. Bitcoin improvements, you're still working on the replace by fee mechanism, Charlie.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so my latest status is that live test got well already, and I'm still trying to figure out a key side policy to it's a it, it's like an algorithm
Okay.
to decide which transaction is stuck and which needs to be replaced, and when and how to determine we are unblocked. So that we have to determine when and which it's stuck, and then after replacing by some mechanism, and then how to determine that we are good and resume again. That's the idea. So still in progress.
Is there some issues, PRs that you could already open, like you were talking about doing some live tests?
I have a branch. But still in implementation. And the test, I don't know how to test it like locally. Maybe we can freeze the block and see.
Okay. Yeah, just me have some look at what would be like the code, because I think it's been already like more than 2 weeks you're on this, so that would be great to see. Yeah, and, I mean, in general, even if it's something still in progress, that's good to open like draft peer as soon as there is some codes that can already be shared.
Okay. Yeah, I can, I mean, push my local change to a branch. To a PR, then you can see it.
You have some estimation to
Um,
complete this one?
I think the code should be done by this week.
Okay.
Question on that one. Do you think we should get a security review on that before it goes live to mainnet?
Yeah, it's yeah, I think we need a security check because
Yeah.
replace transaction is like a double spend intentionally, so it's a bit sensitive.
That's what I was thinking.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think we can see it? So burnt gonna, I think Wind Fog was burnt for the pre-compass, so that will be a big piece of work it's gonna work on. But yeah, I don't know. Did you in mind, Shelly, about scheduling a specific audit or talking with independent contractor?
More independent contractor. I think we can use Brent
Okay.
or Burnt for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look at the PR and see, right? If it's relatively small, you can take a quick look at it before doing pre-compiles. If it's larger, we'll have to figure that out.
Okay. Yeah, on the Bitcoin improvement epic. So I think what would be great next would be to check like the deposit fee issues. So you make a deposit doesn't get observed because of the deposit fee. We might not be like changing the account, more like the library or something like that. But we need a way to improve the UX on that because so even though that is actually an issue, transaction not being observed. Because of the deposit fee, we need to check the log, but the user can't check the log of the client. So yeah, it's something we need to look into. And I think that would be great to work on this next, as it's also some feedback we got from BitSmiler. Did it sounds good to you, Shari?
The deposit fee. Yeah, they don't have access to the logs, so they don't know it failed in a quiet way. Yeah, so in that case, we have to provide a short function so the user can I don't know how to from a dev experience, how to integrate that. It's just it is a calculation.
Yeah, on solution we can discuss next, but I just want to think on that. Like, it would be great to look into this one after the replace by fee. Replace by fee is still the most important one because we don't want to be bottom-minded. But yeah, we'll need to check on this one.
So before, the first time I integrated the deposit fee, I was thinking, should we register a failed CCTX to say that this transaction cannot be processed? But
possibly, yeah.
That seems not a good direction to go.
I mean, that would be my preferred way. Yes.
That's your preferred way?
In my opinion, yeah, that can be possibly a solution.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. So go through points. ZetaChain revamp. Yeah, you made some improvements code base to me recently, and you created doc for like an overview of improving the orchestrator package. Is there any blocker on that? Did you start already on the V2 orchestrator or yeah?
No blockers at all. Not started yet. We'll start tomorrow.
Okay. So give some feedback in the doc. Do you think we should have more look into it to ensure like we are aligned?
I think the main purpose of this doc is just to highlight what I want to change, but actually it does not contain any like chain specific changes, because otherwise we'll end up implementing this like for months, right? Because we need to rethink how we process ETH transactions, BTC, Sol, etc. So what this thing does, it like creates a space for further improvements per chain specific actions. Because like I was busy with improving other parts, and right now we have orchestrator that we want to improve, and after this we only need to tackle like chain specific stuff because the rest is already refactored and it looks more or less simple, tested, and straightforward. Yeah, what else I can think of? Probably we can also further improve RPC wrappers that we have in ZetaChain to be able to measure all possible metrics and logs from this, but I think it's already tackled, at least for most of the chains. Yeah, we need to see. Also, we can improve database, how we work with SQLite databases in ZetaChain, but it's also not urgent. So I think the next goal is just to implement scheduler that is described in this RFC. So, and then the rest is we can tackle case by case.
Okay. How long do you think you need for the orchestrator specifically?
That's a good question. Frankly, I don't have any estimates, but it won't take long. Actually, it's not complicated. I think
Okay.
should be done like this or next week. I hope. Yeah, and
Okay, good to know.
it's an issue per single chain, so like 4 issues in total for integrating this, like for Tone, for BDC, EVM, Solana.
Yeah, so you create some. Okay. Okay, yeah, and I think we can have this one. I will make some cleanup in the backlog, but I think we can just replace the old client AP with this one, and then R is just for the just for the orchestrator. Yeah, there is another epic I think you had.
Yeah, I just created an epic called Orchestrator V2. I posted it in Slack.
I think there is a client V2 as well. We need to put it here, but anyway, that's not really important. I can work on clean up the backlog.
Another huge topic for the next year is to definitely gather all instances that we had so far and compile like a single document with what is wrong with the current chain observers. Because I think we have a lot of edge cases, especially in EVM chains, right? Because they are the most popular ones. So we need to think of like bulletproof solution for the next year.
Yeah.
To be like completely fault tolerant. So to basically avoid like potential cases where we out of sync or like where we miss something. Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense, I would say, like, since we do code freeze, I mean, change freeze, we can like focus right now on improving like the structure, the code base, like the pure like structure of the code base, not directly the feature. We can focus a bit like making it more maintainable, and then with the better structure, we can like focus more on the specific functionalities of the signer, things like that.
That's the plan.
Okay, cool.
One thing I want to point out, I don't know how directly it relates to this, Dimitri, but I just want to make sure you and Alex were talking about stuff because Alex recently added in basically block subscription. So some of the Zeta client stuff, instead of doing it on its own separate timer, can essentially operate based on per block. I know we had talked about potentially doing that for like some of the voting mechanisms. So instead of it voting for gas multiple times in the same block, driving up gas, it could split to vote once per block, that type of thing. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that change that had gone in.
I'm aware, and it will be also included in this scheduler implementation. Yeah, that's frankly, I was not aware that it's like was possible to subscribe to new blocks. But yeah, we definitely need to make this like a first-class citizen in terms of ZetaChain features.
Yeah. I think a lot of the other tickers could benefit from like being on block intervals, like every 10 blocks do this rather than like a lot of the timers that we have. That's just something that I'm thinking about too.
It actually depends on a case-by-case basis, because let's say for everything that is related to voting in Zeta Core, yes. But for Solana, let's say you have one block per 400 millisecond, it makes sense to have just like a regular ticker.
Yeah, if whatever you're doing is faster than what we're doing, yes, I agree.
So like everything that is related to observation, I think should be done by ticker, and everything that is related to signature, TSS, and voting should be done by WebSocket connection to ZetaCore or per block ZetaCore.
Okay. Socket Trader this week. Yeah, many of us will be off next week, so if there are anything you need from the team, we'll be glad to. Yeah, we talk this week, but in general, it seems like it's pretty much independent from what we're working on right now. So I think that will be fine that you just make peers. Eventually, you can make most of the work. Then for next week in the same feature branch, maybe that will be even easier to manage.
Yeah.
So you're not blocked by reuse. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, I have a general question about gateway. Like, can you elaborate what high level tasks are left to actually ship everything end to end, or is it already shipped?
The gateway.
Yeah, like is everything related to gateway, like all contracts, proposals, binaries, etc. are there?
And the core is enabled.
Okay.
But there are follow-up tasks. So you have this epic that list thing. So yeah, we'll need to plug the non-EVM chain to use the V2 architecture.
Okay.
Some other small changes, but I mean the core functionality is enabled. If you just consider EVM chains itself, what we're gonna do next, it's enabling moving the ZAG connector to the gateway as well. So we'll have everything using V2 architecture, no longer message passing. And once we have this, I mean, I think that there will be a lot of different cleanup in the code base we can do. Like right now, there's a lot of logic in the cross-chain module because you can send cross-chain message from a chain A to chain B directly without passing through the chain. Since now we pass everything through the chain, there are a lot of cleanup we can do in code base. But yeah, that's another story. But for the question, yeah, the core things are already implemented. On the SAR clients, the follow-up will be working on plugging the different network, but I don't think that would be very complex. I think that's totally doable for the next release.
Okay, thanks.
So on stress testing, you have the peers open for review. Stefan, is there anything you want to talk on that? Actually,
yeah, the PR itself is merged. Yeah, I merged it. Had
that's the
two
backport.
approvals.
Okay.
Yeah, I created a backport because there is a fix in that PR from Charlie to improve performance for outbounds. So there is a backport PR. I see performance tests failed, so I'm trying to check why is that. But yeah, that's the next step. Trying to see how it works on release 23 branch.
Okay. Well, maybe
I will say, without the signer synchronization improvements, remember that withdrawals will just be super slow in the performance test. So if you add more load, it's probably just going to exceed the timeout.
Yeah, on develop, it's working fine after the fix. Run it multiple times on release branch. Again, some issues I still didn't check.
On what network? On local network testnet?
Yeah, local.
Okay.
So yeah, on develop they're pretty fine now. But yeah, for some reason on release branch again slow. I need to take more look.
Well, Alex, you're saying that's
Yeah,
expected on the release.
I'm saying on the release branch, it's definitely expected that it's going to be slow and terrible without the signer synchronization PR that's on development.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I still think the backport makes sense, but yeah, if you can check that, that would be nice. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean the performance tests were already failing, so if they're going to continue failing, I think that's mostly fine as long as like it looks okay to you.
Yeah, it's pretty small fix. Yeah.
We can run from Europe the performance test on live network. So that's fine. So there is, I guess we can talk about that next call, but so there is another fix we want to bring for the testnet issues that we have. So maybe you can patch everything in the same release.
Is it just going to Athens, that release? Or is this a major version release?
I mean, that's not major. I mean, that's a patch. So it's not an upgrade, but no, we would need this for mainnet as well.
I am hesitant to do anything involving mainnet that hasn't already been on Athens, and like we're running out of time unless we want to blow through the change freeze. We'd like to start tomorrow.
But I mean, Solana on mainnet right now has not been tested. So if we take the code, the change freeze in consideration, we should consider Solana is not gonna be live next year, before next year, then because.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. I mean, we can make the change freeze with the exception of patch related to Solana, or we just consider Solana. We'll leave Solana mainnet for now, but I think we can continue the discussion in this call for that. But just coming back on the testing, so I think we are good. Is there anything else that needs to be tested on Solana? On the testnets in particular, I mean.
No, nothing from my side.
Okay. Yeah, and next, so the code quality improvements. I think you already started on this. So
yeah.
Having that client is pretty much isolated, so that will not interact with any other. You will not be blocked by reviews, but yeah, code quality improvements, and if you have some time to check the B50 upgrades, that would be great.
Sorry, can you repeat the Cosmos upgrade, right?
Yeah, Cosmos upgrade.
Yeah. I will try to check those two in December. Yeah.
Okay. Simulation tests. So the operations observer and question are ready, tell me, right?
Yeah, so the PR has all the operations for cross-chain and observer modules, except the one for migrating TSS funds, because the migration expects the cross-chain operations to be paused, which is like counterproductive for simulation tests. So yeah, that's the only operation that's not there. Other than that, this PR is open for review, and yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a look on the pre-compile. So you started one discussion, I think.
Yeah, so I posted a comment there with my thoughts. So basically, I was looking at like how to simulate precompiles, and so the simulation module from Cosmos is basically it's geared towards messages and how they're delivered, and precompiles don't go through that at all.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that in the issue as well. So, but at the end of the day, the precompile, what it does is like it verifies the inputs and it then calls like for the case of staking precompiled functions, we see that it's already calling a message which is defined by Cosmos, such as redelegate or unstake or stake, whatever. So as long as we are simulating the message that it calls internally, I think we are covered from the simulation test perspective.
Mm-hmm.
For the bank, yeah, go on.
I think we don't need to simulate the precompiled functions. I mean, it's not the most important one, I think. We should look into setting what do you call that? Invariants. So yeah, I think I should put more details in the issue, but so basically you have the universal staking, you distribute ZRS20 as staking rewards, you represent staking as Cosmos coin, and we need to define invariants like the Cosmos representation of the ZRS20 is never like more than the ZRS20 that are locked, things like that. Then once you have the invariants, you can check those with simulation tests. You run a lot of simulation and you check the invariant are not broken. I think that would be more important, I think, than just simulating the precompiled directly, because the staking is already simulated. The deposit the deposits, yeah, we just need to define somewhere to get some ZRS20 distributed as rewards. Maybe simulation, we can define some logic where I don't know, need to investigate on that, but you have something that just deposits the ZRS20, so you have ZRS20 rewards.
Yeah, that's possible. So yeah, you can add like arbitrary data into the state and we should be able to have rewards. That's also one of the things I mentioned here. And like regarding the bank precompiles, I feel like we should follow the same format as like the staking one is doing, where the precompile does like it does the input checks and then it calls the message. So we can always define a function on the fungible module which encapsulates like the three different steps that the bank deposit is doing. So what the bank deposit does is like it checks the input, it locks ERC20 and it mints. So this lock plus mint can be encapsulated into a message if needed, and then we can simulate that message. That should not be, that's like pretty trivial to do on the Zeta core side. So that's one thing. And the other thing is what you mentioned around like the invariants. So yeah, that should be easy to set up as well. We just need like a way to track the balances of each CRC20 on state and yeah, and add an invariant on top of that. And after that, like when we are running the simulation test, the invariant should not break and that should be a test.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good overview. Okay. And yeah, if you can break down a bit, like we have one issue right now, but I think can be broken down into a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and add it in this one then.
Right. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. We're almost on time. Let's just get a quick check on the bug. So the bug there was one regarding a field that we remove, and Mitri made a fix today. So for this one, we should be good. I think that was reported in several. I can't find it.
Can that one get backported to the release branch for like RPC providers and such? We might want to make a new binary for them so people can get unblocked by that.
This one.
The one you were just talking
about, the message. Actually, yeah, I can't find. I was pretty sure that there was a recent bug issue open, but or maybe it's closed. Yeah, because the branch was merged. Yeah, this one where you have those. So yeah, there were fields that were changed to reserved, which is normally I think the good way to do it, but I think it's based on the proto buff library that we're using that creates some issues. So we just push back the fields, the old fields as we had. So this one, if it's needed, I think we can generate binary that fix the problem.
Yep, I agree. We can do that.
That would help.
I mean, yeah. Does the binary? We need the binary to be based on v23, isn't it?
Yeah. So you backport to v23. How to patch release.
Yep. Let's do that then.
Cool. Can someone on protocol backport that?
Okay, you put already. I mean, Mitri, since you created it, do you want to? Okay. Yeah. Okay. On this one, we're good. There's another one with the. No, it's here. So this was arrayed to the mainnet old function we had. Is there? I see there was some discussion from there was Falk. So is there like something action item on this one?
Which one are you referring to?
I mean, you see my screen, right?
No, we haven't been able to see your screen the whole time. That's why I was sharing.
Oh, I was thinking, I did the entire call, like, I was thinking I was sharing my screen. Okay. So the entire call, I was going through some pages without knowing, I didn't see those. Yeah, the one with query returned more than 10,000 result.
I think we just close this one out. I don't think this is something that we should support.
Okay.
And if they really need it, they can get it not through an RPC provider. They have to run their own node.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should just say you just have to run your own node if you want to do this. It's an advanced use case. Yeah, aside from that one, I don't really see much else in the bugs, so I think we can close this out.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think all the bugs that are needing immediate action. Is there anything someone want to bring? Cool. If not, I think that's it.